Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motion, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. I hope you had a great weekend. Saints win on Sunday. Who dat? Great to see the Saints get it done. We've been over this a bajillion times. I'll always cheer for my team to win. I want them to make the playoffs. I want them to get hot. I want them to go win Thursday night in LA. I want them to go to Tampa and win, beat Atlanta, finish 10-7, win the division, make the playoffs, host a first round playoff game, likely against Dallas, and win that game and move on to likely face Philly, but maybe San Fran. Either way, that's what I want. I want to see the Saints get hot. I don't necessarily believe that's going to happen. My opinion is that they're going to lose on Thursday to the Rams, but you keep winning, you keep playing meaningful games, and that's where the Saints are right now. So bad division, I get it. Season has not gone how many of us hoped it would, but the last 2 weeks you have taken care of lesser teams at home, as you should do. If you fancy yourself as a division champion and a playoff team, you got to beat the Panthers and the Giants at home, and the Saints did that the last 2 weeks. So they put themselves in a position now with 3 games to go to play some meaningful football, and it starts Thursday night with a trip to LA. So we'll talk more about that. I think that's super. It's a super disadvantage. Not only a short week, but having to go 2 time zones over on a short week. Schedule makers didn't do the Saints any favors with that one, but it's hard to complain because the Saints have had the easiest schedule maybe in the history of the organization, and they're 500. So Rams are playing right now. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but the Rams are playing just about as good as anybody over the last month. I get it. They've been sort of an out of sight, out of mind team, because they're 7-7, but they're 4-1 in their last 5. And the only loss was at Baltimore, and it was a 37-31 game. So, okay, let's say some good mornings. See what you got. Fire away. Charlie Cavell, Craig Duke, Willie the Kid handled UL and that extra L. Always forgetting to add their name. I don't know if y'all saw that, but so McNeese and ULL played in basketball on Sunday, and I know that's not a headliner that many people are going to care about. So Will Wade and McNeese beat ULL. Well, McNeese on Twitter posted the graphic of the win and said, "Here's that extra L y'all always forget to add. You keep forgetting to add." Oh, man. And then the Southland Conference Twitter got in on it as well, because there was some, I guess, Raging Cajun fan account or something like that who was like, whatever, biggest win for your conference ever. And Southland replied, said, "No, we took care of your big brother too." And they had a screenshot of the Nichols LSU score. The shade from the Southland Conference is so good. I respect it. Rocky Killian, what's going on? How do you feel about Carr this morning? I think Derek Carr played a great game yesterday. And you know what I would equate it to, Rocky? I don't know if you're trying to throw shade but if a quarterback in his 10th year who has shown himself to be at best a middle of the pack quarterback in the NFL, if that player goes and has a good day against one of the worst teams in the league, in the Giants, and Derek Carr had a good day yesterday, very good day, very efficient, 23 of 28 for 218 and 3 scores, very good day. If you are pounding your chest on that, isn't that a problem? Like, if you pay a quarterback $100 million, shouldn't that be the expectation for that guy? That shouldn't be the outlier, but that's the outlier for him this year. That's what it is, and that's the outlier for his career because that's what he is. So, shoot, I hope he puts together 3 more like that the next 3 weeks. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love it if they did. Have you ever seen the movie? There's a movie years ago. I don't know if y'all remember this. I reference this time to time, but it's a sports movie, and so you have to find a reference like this that makes sense. But it was a movie called Little Big League, and it was this kid who ended up managing the Minnesota Twins. I don't know if you remember the movie. And long story short, so there's a guy on the team who's a future Hall of Famer, but he's at the end of his career, and he was this kid's favorite player. And all of the organization keeps trying to tell me, we got to get rid of so-and-so, his career's over, yada, yada. And they're playing this game, and the guy gets a C&I single through the right side, and the kid tells the bench coach, hey, you see, I told you could still do it. He said, hey, kid, when you get that excited over a C&I single, doesn't that tell you the problem? And they cut him. I mean, it's kind of similar with Carr. Like, he's in year 10, you paid him $100 million guaranteed. You're getting that excited over a 218-yard performance against the Giants. Isn't that the problem? Anyway, Jacob Thompson, good morning. I didn't get to watch Morning Scone this past weekend. Could you tell me the 2 transfers that committed to LSU over the weekend? Yeah, so Tigers got 2 players over the weekend. Xavion Thomas, wide receiver from Mississippi State, kid from John Ehret in New Orleans, went to state, caught 40 balls this year for over 500 yards, was also their punt returner. So he has, depending on what Kyron Lacey does, if Kyron Lacey leaves, then Xavion Thomas would have more production this past year than all of your receivers combined in their career. So that's a big get. Also can return punts. Then the other one is Jordan Gilbert, who's a safety who went to U High and then was a starter at A&M this year, got injured. And actually when he got injured, Jacoby Matthews replaced him. But so you got a safety and a receiver, 2 really good players from the state of Louisiana who had been playing in the SEC. So big gets this weekend for LSU. All right. Ransom Antoine, good morning. Is it crazy to be excited and worried at the same time about this team? No, that's not crazy. I mean, listen, I'm going to say this again. You should want your team to win, always. It is way more fun when your team wins. Cheer for your team to win. Go into Thursday night hoping they win, get hot, want to win the division, make the playoffs, like all that. Hope for that. Cheer for that. Now, my opinion is I don't think that's going to happen, but who cares? That's why they play the game. Let's see how it plays out. Taylor Hudson, William Moore, James McKinney, Joey Metke, Matt Plavidal, good morning. How much of a chance do the Yankees did to get Ohtani from the Angels? I don't know, man. I don't know how much they were in that bidding war. It doesn't seem like it, man. Yeah, they went out and got Soto, and I'm fine with that. Excuse me. Brett DeGrow, Daniel Roof. Any other transfers LSU is eyeing? Yes. Well, they had A.J. Swan in this weekend for an official visit. Quarterback from Vanderbilt. Talked about that a good bit yesterday. They have offered a couple of linemen, and we'll see what other direction it goes. But I think much of, look, Shea Dixon has said this on the record many times on our show, that the belief is LSU is going to sign single-digit transfers this year. You're going for impact, not necessarily quantity. The past 2 years, you've had to get quantity just to build your roster. This year, you need to supplement with the portal because you will have had now 3 high school recruiting classes to build your roster. Christian, good morning. Weston Weaver, Jesse Brown, defense looked good yesterday. Does 8-9 get you into the playoffs? 8-9 could get you into the playoffs, But you're not likely going to win the tiebreaker over, it would appear at this point, Tampa, after Atlanta lost yesterday to Carolina. So your division record is what would matter. The Saints beat Carolina twice, but they've lost to both Tampa and Atlanta. So, you could come back and win your next, your next two against Tampa and Atlanta, and go 4-2 against the division, and that might get it done. But if you go 8-9, you're going to need help. Glenn Garner, morning, bro. Love the reaction. So I went to sleep after the game so I could stock them groceries. Watch this morning. All right, Glenn. Appreciate it, man. Cajun Country, morning, Matt. General beat ULL last night. It got really chippy. Wacky Chris, good morning, Matt. As a Saints fan, I want them to win every game. But can you justify firing people if this team makes the playoffs? I can't take any more false hope. Wacky Chris, absolutely. Coaches who make the playoffs get fired, and that's not an uncommon thing. Sorry. Okay. Guy Brooks, good morning. Bradley Anderson, Matt Sadrine's in the portal. Will we miss him that much? If you have to ask the question, I think you know the answer. Sadrine's played a lot of football, but he never really found a spot. He played safety, he played nickel. This year he played corner. And he's a guy that came in with tremendous expectation. He was a 5-star. He had the injury his freshman year that limited him to just a handful of games. But, real talk, last year Greg Brooks was a vastly better, they're talking 2022, Greg Brooks was a vastly better nickel than Sage Ryan. When Ryan went on the field, you saw the productivity drop significantly. And this year you moved him all over, and I know Brian Kelly said they wanted to play him at corner because he was athletic and could tackle. In the first drive of the season, he missed a tackle. It's... He's played a lot of ball, and it's the kind of guy you hope would stay, just keep improving and get better. But I understand that's also the type of guy that at this point in his career leaves. So, Bailey C., God bless you, Matt, for calling out the boycotters of Bud. They'll not drink a beer, but use a phone made by child labor. Hey, look, it's so for those that missed it yesterday, I am proud to support Mockler Beverage and Bud Light on AFR. They're the official beer of AFR. I love my people at Mockler. They're a great community partner and have been for 40 years. Yesterday on the reaction show, I got a little chip in. I went and grabbed a Bud Light, cracked it open and drank, and I teed off on all the people who have boycotted Bud. And you don't realize the people you're hurting. The people you're hurting, how about, do you realize that Louisiana and Southern Arkansas, farmers in Louisiana and Southern Arkansas are the largest producers of rice that make that beer? You're hurting Louisiana farmers. You've already closed down a glass plant in North Louisiana that would make the bottles. You're hurting the delivery drivers, the 200 families that work at Mockler Beverage in Baton Rouge. For what? Because the guy who sang Ball with a Baw fired a bunch of bullets into some cases of Bud Light. So you're listening to Kid Rock? Are you kidding me? And oh, by the way, now Kid Rock is drinking Bud Light again. Peyton Manning's endorsing it. They have deals with the NFL, the UFC. What are we even talking? The selective outrage that people have has always driven me nuts. And it's not just about this, it's about anything. We should all, and I'm on my soapbox now for a minute because you set me off. Human beings, unfortunately, too many of us are lemmings. You just follow the crowd. You have to wait to be told what to think. This is true in with respect to sports or news or whatever, like, if you spend all day watching Fox or CNN, why? Like, you're not being informed. You're being told what to believe by those networks that have an agenda. Inform yourself, make your own decision. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on that. I'm not a political person. I don't care. But selective outrage by people, cancel, like, the irony of cancel culture is the people that bemoan cancel culture are the people that try to cancel Bud Light. It's like, why? Meanwhile, during Pride Month, the home page for Miller Lite said open and proud, and the Miller Lite logo was in rainbow colors. Coors Light has their logo during Pride Month in rainbow colors, and for 2 decades they've supported the Pride March in Denver. Like, and that's great. I don't care. I don't care. Market to every faction of people. Everybody spends money. It's the old Jordan line. Why didn't Jordan get involved in politics? Because Republicans bought shoes too. All right. Anyway, it's just the selective outrage. It's like, if you're pissed at Bud, why aren't you pissed at all the other ones? Whatever. I didn't mean to go there this morning, but whoever it was that Bailey C mentioned it, so I figured I would give you the context behind it. But mostly, I'm just very proud to stand with my people at Mockler Beverage in Baton Rouge, because they're an awesome company that, employs 200 people. That's 200 families. They're so generous with the way they give, and people don't even know the amount of money they give sometimes to children's charities and other things that they can't be public about because they're an alcohol distributor. And so they just write checks that a lot of people don't even know ever get cut. They're so generous and awesome people, and I'm proud to stand with them. It's been a hard time for them. They're a great local business. It's been hard on them for something they didn't do at all. Anyway, let's move on. Tiger Diver, what's up? Gary Petrie, your thoughts? Got my first bottle of Elijah Craig. What am I to expect? Hardy had Buffalo Trace and Old Forester. Which Old Forester? That's the main question. And Elijah Craig is fantastic. Elijah Craig is a $25 to $30 bottle of whiskey that is full-bodied, great flavor. That is a case in point of something I tell people all the time, why you don't need to go spend $100 to buy a good bottle of bourbon. You can buy a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch for $25, and it's great. So anyway, Jonathan said, when was the last time we heard the Hudco jingle? I think it's time. You know what, Jonathan? God bless you. I'm in the mood.
Hudco Roofing. Hudco Roofing. When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone and Terrio.
All you need is Hudco.
Hudco Roofing. Hudco Roofing. Call Hudco Roofing.
364.
1007. Roofing. Hudco Roofing. Hudco Roofing.
Okay, y'all, by the way, Drew is off of school this week, so I got a little more time than normal, so I'm not rushing out of here. So fire away, be patient with your questions, I'll get to them. Tim Gotro, Zach Bond, blown coverage says Zach Bond with the team next year. By the way, probably, let me look at Zach Bond's contract. I believe this is the final year of his rookie deal. It is. So this is the final year of his rookie deal. I think they offer him and he's an unrestricted free agent, so he can sign anywhere. I think they will offer him the opportunity to come back. I mean, this team drafted him, and I'll tell you, this is a little bit of a catch-22. I'm really excited for Zach Bond that they finally found something for him, like they found a role for him. But I'm really annoyed that it took 4 years to realize he's an edge rusher when that's the thing he did at Wisconsin. They try to turn him into an off-ball linebacker. That's not what he does. And so he's just been sitting there wasting. But in edge rush packages, he's been good this year. Alec Upchurch, good morning. Brian Wynn, Wendell Norman, Spurge, good morning. Dedrick Ford, wondering the same thing about Zach Bond. Don Tecco, hello, Matt. How's Ole Miss out recruiting us in the portal? Money? I got a call yesterday, Don, from a very good source that I trust implicitly about that very thing. Because not only have they landed the number one player in the portal, they're likely going to get Walter Nolan from Texas A&M as well. Now, Walter Nolan is from Olive. A lot of people know this. He's from Olive Branch, Mississippi, so it is in a way him going home. But the way it was explained to me about Ole Miss is that they have the most organized collective in the country. Not necessarily the most well-funded, but the most organized collective in the country. And I've told y'all, and I know a lot of LSU people have gotten mad at me for saying this, and they've tried to push back. But LSU, their collective, has been a disorganized mess from the jump. They've already changed names of the collective. They've changed leadership. The person they hired to run the collective was here for about, 6 weeks and then got fired. Like, y'all, LSU is not organized. They're not. And when you don't have a deep roster of wealthy boosters, you're going to have to be efficient, and they aren't. So how is Ole Miss doing it? Again, I literally took a phone call last night from someone about that very thing. Ransom Antoine Salisbury said, that's Carr, though. Great 1 week, horrible the next. That's what he's been his whole career. We got a 9-year sample. Movie's isn't that what it said? Little Big League was the movie? David Truding, what's up? Truth hurts. Apathy, what's going on? Rams are an awful matchup for the Saints. Not only that, but listen, guys. One of the reasons you heard me say this, that I liked the Saints so much yesterday, and I picked the Saints. I am big on spots on the schedule. The Giants coming on a short week on the road, right? They played Monday Night Football, now had to come short week and travel, is a disadvantage. Now look at the Saints. They're going to have to go travel to the West Coast on a short week. You play Sunday. You basically go get treatment Monday. You practice Tuesday. You travel Wednesday. You play Thursday. That's just a massive disadvantage when you have to travel on a short week. So, see what they can do. Brad David said, are you taking any days off this week? I'm not, Brad. So I'm off all of next week. So our whole staff is off Monday, Tuesday, Christmas Day, and the day after, but I'm taking off the whole week. So I'm off all of next week, but I'm here every day this week. Jesse Brown, glad to know you and Drew had a happy trip to the mall. Tiger Diver, Ole Miss slinging some NIL money. How concerned should LSU be? About Ole Miss, yeah. I mean, they were 10-2 this year. You're going to get Jackson Dart back. You're getting Quinshon Judkins back. Trey Harris already said he's coming back. They're killing it in the portal. Yeah. I mean, you should be concerned about Ole Miss. Eric Waterrider, morning, Matt. Just curious, when's Brian Kelly's next media availability? I actually got the email today. So some LSU players have an appearance today. It's like a shopping. Well, hang on. I'll tell you. I literally just got the email this morning. They updated media availability. Hang on. Here it is. Okay, so this morning, so it's today at 2 o'clock. Walmart on Burbank. The players are going to go shopping with a child. That's at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., there's media availability for practice. No interviews. Wednesday is National Signing Day. Brian Kelly will meet with reporters Wednesday. The time is TBD. Thursday, practice is open at 10:30 again for the media, and then player interviews at 12:25. So BK on Wednesday, players on Thursday. Please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel. Chris Nelson, morning, Matt. Let's switch it up for a moment. How about the Bad News Birds coming home after taking care of business on the road? Go Pels. Yeah, man, 4 in a row since losing to the Lakers out in Vegas and looking really good. They annihilated San Antonio yesterday. Charles Como, I think BG will have to make 2 pressure field goals to help beat the Rams. Big Easy 09, good morning. David Truding, agree. I drink bourbon and not beer. unless crawfish boil, then it's Yinling. Good comments, Dave. Jonathan was, there it was. Let's see. Cody Kibido, morning, Matt. Already making plans to go to Vegas for the season opener next year. Very cool, man. We will be there. We'll be doing our lineup of shows out in Vegas for the opener. Still trying to identify where we're going to be doing the shows. I do know that the LSU, the LSU team, there's 2 hotels. Doggone it. I can't. So, it's on my phone, but somebody remind me, and I'll tell you which are the LSU team hotels for Vegas next year. They've already got them. Kenneth, grown man asking for the HUDCO jingle is weird. No, it's not. It's awesome. The HUDCO jingle rocks. It's a brilliant earworm, done and performed, written and performed by my friend Mr. Toby Tomplay and his lovely and talented wife Shelly Brown Tomplay. So, no, that's not weird at all. That's someone who understands high quality musical production when he hears it. Barry Jocelyn, what's up? Old Forester 86 proof. But is it part of the Prohibition series? Is it just the straight bourbon? Well, if it's 86 proof, then it's not a Prohibition series. Matt Plavidal, who came up with the name Tommy Cutlets. So Matt, so Tommy DeVito gave an interview where he was talking about how he still lives at home. And so, he grew up like 20 minutes from the stadium, right, where he's playing. So he still lives at home. And he's like, why would I leave? Got a clean house, someone to make my bed. Mom cooks all the meals. And he mentioned chicken cutlets. And anyway, so that's where Tommy Cutlets came from. He mentioned his mom cooks his meals and she makes chicken cutlets and all that sort of stuff. Jerry G, good morning. Jason Champagne, what's up? Brian Wynn, what is Uncle Scone expecting for Christmas this year? Probably sneakers and whiskey. I'm pretty easy to buy for. Neil Ehrlich, what are the chances we get Olave and Mike T back for Thursday? So Mike Thomas, no. I would be very surprised. I don't even know if they can. Hang on, let's see. When did they put him on IR? So they put him on IR November 21st. So he would be eligible to return this week if they designate him. So he would have to be designated return from IR. That would open his 21-day window, and then he could return this week. You're right. So this is the week he could return. But, man, I haven't heard a single thing. And granted, I'll grant you, I haven't asked. But normally with someone the profile of Thomas, that would kind of leak out if he were able. We'll keep an eye on it. But that's a good question. That's another layer for Thursday. But a short week, I don't know, man. When you haven't been out there for 4 weeks, then you're going to get out there and play on a short week. I don't know. Now, my feeling on Olave is I think they sat him yesterday thinking they were going to be able to win that game without him in hopes to get him ready to play against the Rams. I don't have that on any good accord. That is literally just an opinion. So I think that Olave would play on Thursday. Let's see. Now we fast forward to the Rams in 3 days. James McKinney, are we concerned about Harlan Berry pushing his commitment date back? No. My understanding is he's still picking LSU. I knew that last week that he was pushing his date back because he wants to do it at the All-American Bowl, whatever. I don't know if it's the Army or the whatever one it is, the Under Armour, whatever game it is. Whatever All-American Bowl he's playing in, he wants to do it there. That's why I pushed it back. Jason, Thursday will be major litmus test for the Saints. These last 2 wins were against the dregs of the league. Let's see what they do against a competent team. That's completely fair. And there's two ways to look at it, which is what you just said, that, yeah, you got 2 wins against 2 bad teams, which is true, but also if you're a good team, then you should beat the bad teams, which the Saints did. And the Saints, remember, beat Carolina by 3 touchdowns despite putting up less than 200 yards of offense. Carolina is an awful team. It's not that the Saints played well. They played very poorly in that game, but Carolina is horrendous. The Giants had been playing well, and the Saints were good yesterday. Especially, I love the 7 sacks, the pressure they generated on Tommy DeVito. They converted in the red zone. All the things we wanted to see, that we've been wanting to see the Saints do, they did, which was great. Brad David, you know if Jake Peets is still coaching. Where did Jake Peets go? I thought he went back to the NFL. He's with the Los Angeles Rams. I knew he went back to the NFL. How about that? The Saints are going to see him this week. He's the pass game specialist with the LA Rams. Matt Lusto, you hear anything about the release of Midwinter Night's Dram? I got an offer to get one at MSRP. Do it. I've heard this year is awesome. And honestly, Matt, I think I mentioned it yesterday. I've got 4 drams back there. I've never had a bad one, but I've heard this year is awesome. So yes, and see if you can get 2. Mark Allen, if you don't like the Hood Coach jingle, you can kick rocks. Damn right, Mark Allen. Darn right, excuse me. Let's see, Matt Plavidal. Matt, is Will Howard a good quarterback at K-State? Word is he may transfer to USC. Yeah, so that seems likely, right? So USC had a freshman 5-star quarterback transfer. Malachi Nelson transferred out. He was the number 1 recruit in the 2023 class. He's leaving USC. And the word is Will Howard from K-State is going to transfer in, which means it's relevant because LSU, of course, plays SC in the opener, so they would be playing Will Howard, provided he goes there. Nelson's interesting because if you have this 5-star freshman and he leaves after 1 year, it's pretty clear then that they didn't see him as their future, which is really interesting. Because if you're talented enough to be regarded as a 5-star and the number 1 player and all that stuff, you would think a coach like Lincoln Riley could mold that talent, but maybe not. Damon Gilmore, good morning. Cajun Country, can you wish my niece Polly happy birthday? She's a huge soccer fan. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Polly. I hope it's the best day in the history of the whole wide world for you. Hope you get all kind of cake and presents and every great thing in life. And tons of smiles and happiness today. And you deserve it. So happy birthday, Polly. I hope it's an awesome, awesome day. Brant Roban, is Brian Kelly keeping house? Brant, I guess you just get to be the one who gets to ask that today because people ask that literally every single day. And I'll tell you today the thing that I've continued to say over and over and over and over again, which is I don't know, but I do know. Here's what I'm comfortable saying. That there will be at least two defensive staff changes. I have been told repeatedly changes will not come until after signing day, which is Wednesday. People ask routinely about Corey Raymond, and I will tell you, I know Corey wants to come back. And there are people within not only the football program, but also the athletic department that are pushing for him to come back. And so I know that. My opinion is he will be back. Again, so very, very clear distinction, right? I am telling you, there are people on staff and within the LSU athletic department that are pushing for Corey Raymond to come back. I know Corey wants to come back. Period. My opinion is he will be back. And then similarly, there's people pushing to bring Bo Davis in as the defensive line coach. He's at Texas and will be with Texas through their playoff. So if that happens, it wouldn't be until after the playoff with Texas. But we have the Bo Davis conversation seemingly every year. So while I have no doubt there are people that want that to happen, it's almost like the timing has to be right, and I believe we want to see it. As for Matt House, I will also remind you that Matt House came from the NFL. There's a possibility he could go back to the NFL. And Brian Pohl, as far as timing, Brian Polian last year as the special teams coordinator wasn't moved out of that role to an off-field role until February 21st, after the February signing day. So just because it hasn't happened yet, don't necessarily think that means it won't happen at all. Christian Myers, morning, Matt. Who are these portal guys wanting to go to Ole Miss? If you want to hear at the beginning of the show, I told you, Ole Miss has, as I was told last night, the most organized collective in the sport right now. Let's see. Paul, Herbert, Bubba Smith, Chad Cornett, Kelly Gross, Jeff McKithen. Good morning, Douglas Duhan. With Sage Ryan in the portal, who plays cornerback in the bowl game. Well, you've got Ashton Stamps and Javian Tobiano and Jeremiah Hughes. It is interesting also because LaTerrence Welch and Sage Ryan are both in the portal. So you are thin on numbers there, but those three guys. Hey, Dad, good morning. Tanya Grant, good morning. Finally catching you live. Thanks to Christmas break. Please, for the love of God, know why bring in a transfer quarterback. Nuss is our guy talk this morning. Got it. Tanya Grant, it's the why bring in a quarterback and are they keeping Matt House? Those are the conversation we get every day. Rick Manuel, good morning. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Went to the football award show last night. Very cool. Okay, cool. Very cool. Very cool. Henry Gordon Bennett want the Saints to win out or lose out. I don't think changes will be made when Mickey Loomis is preaching that they have the people they want. I think also, though, Henry, just one thing to consider is in the middle of a season, it doesn't do you any good to publicly admonish your coaches you need to be unified in season. That's why it's the whole dreaded vote. That's what people refer to as like the dreaded vote of confidence, right? When everybody knows things aren't going well and the GM or the owner stands up and defends their guy, it's, Chad Cornett, how can I gather a hat? A Hudco hat? Well, Chad, we got tons of Hudco hats at our office on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. You're more than welcome to walk in, knock on the door, and say, hey, can I have a Hudco hat? And whoever is working there will absolutely give you a Hudco hat. Or, man, I had a whole box of Hudco hats I was slinging at the Calandras raffle on Thursday. And I'll tell you this. We are planning another Hudco hat party. And I believe it's going to be the day of the LSU South Carolina women's basketball game. I think that's what we're going to do. I think it's January 25th. So details to come. But circle that date on your calendar. Michael Richard, good morning. Beautiful Monday. The Black and Gold tied first place in the NFC South. Michael Richard from the best bank of New Orleans. Who dat? Love the energy, Michael. Have a great day, man. Rick Manuel. Will Wade and his Bayou Bandits had a win yesterday. Electric environment, packed house. Fernell Thomas, good morning. Our defense will be good for our office. Won't be to keep us in the... Our defense will be good for our... That's got to be offense. Won't... Sorry, Fernell. I think your last line is it'll be over by the third quarter. I think you're right. Maybe the defense will be good. The offense won't. I tend to agree. Yes, I tend to agree with you for now. I don't think it's going to go great for the Saints on Thursday. But I'm going to watch like everybody else and hope the Saints go play their best game and wind up winning one and go have a huge game against the Bucks in Week 17. Kane Worthy, is it bad on one of the Saints to lose so we can tear everything down and start the rebuilding process? Yes. I mean, this was basically the whole show yesterday. But I think you have to differentiate what you want to happen and what you think will happen. Like Kane, that's what I think is going to happen. I think the Saints are going to lose this week on Thursday to the Rams, and then I think they're going to go and lose to the Bucks. And they're going to be 7-9, and they're going to come home to play Atlanta, and we'll see how that goes. And they're going to miss the playoffs and fire Dennis Allen. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. And if that happens, great. I have been very open about this. I think Dennis Allen is a lieutenant, not a general. I don't think they're ever winning anything under him. I think Derek Carr, I shouted from the rooftops when they signed Derek Carr that was a mistake, all that stuff. But there's a big difference between Matt the fan and Matt the media guy because, and yes, I just referred to myself in third person, and I apologize for that. But, the Saints are, like so many of you, they're part of my being. I love them. They've been part of my life for my entire life. And I always want them to win. And I can't sit here and tell you that while the Saints are staring down a potential division title and a playoff berth, that I want them to lose. I don't. I want them to win. I want them to win their next 3 games, go 10-7, win the division, host Dallas or Philly, most likely, win that game, and go into the divisional round and see if you can pull an upset. I mean, that's what I want to see happen. That's what the fan in me wants. But my job requires me to give opinions. And I'm not a mouthpiece or a cheerleader for the organization. And I'll never BS my audience. I'm going to tell you what I think. And what I think is Dennis Allen is a bad head coach. Derek Carr is, at his best, a middle-of-the-pack NFL quarterback. And the Saints are going to lose this week, and they're going to lose to Tampa. That's what I think is going to happen. And if they lose and they fire Dennis Allen and start the rebuild, I'll be very excited to see who's next and what direction they go. Raed Abdel Majid, LSU running back coach Frank this week witness for Coat? What? Craig Duga, Lux Rose, single double barrels fire. If you see one, don't pass it up. Okay, Craig, good looking out. I have seen it. Good to know. Christian Geiger, Jim Arsenault, good morning. How can New Orleans look like world beaters one week and so bad at times? Because that's what bad teams do, Jim. They're inconsistent. You don't string together wins. You play well, then you play poorly. That is by definition what inconsistent teams in the NFL look like. Now it helps that the last 2 weeks you played Carolina and New York, the worst team in the NFL, and a guy who was in a team quarterbacked by Tommy DeVito. I'll repeat again, throughout this season, you have caught so many breaks with the quarterbacks that you've had to face or not face. You didn't face Anthony Richardson. You didn't face Justin Fields. You didn't face Kirk Cousins. You didn't face Daniel Jones. I mean, you've gotten so lucky with how your schedule has fallen, yet you're still sitting there at 7-7 because you're not a good team. Win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, loss, win, win, loss, 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 win, win. That's what bad teams do. You just don't string together wins. So the Saints are a bad team. How can they look like world beaters one week and awful the next? Because they're a bad, inconsistent team. Eric Hart, good morning. 14th wedding anniversary today. Okay, dude. Happy anniversary, 14 years. Congratulations to a great family. I'll raise my coffee to that. I'm a little congested this morning, man. Wow. Got up, went and worked out, and my sinus is just drained, but I even took my Claritin this morning. Still, it was just not kicking yet. Jerry DeLucky, morning, Matt. Carr was no emperor yesterday. It only took 14 games. Maybe we could do a bit today, like has the emperor resigned his crown? Jordan Jones, LaTerrence Welch is committed to ASU. Yep, he's going to Arizona State. So again, that's another corner you won't have for the bowl game. Kerry Hughes, seeing Crystal soon. Tweaked my L5, S1, nothing is worse. Crystal, of course, would be Crystal Poche from Restored Motions. As a matter of fact, Kerry, I am going to see Crystal on Friday, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Tell you all the time, you got pain, book a session, y'all. Be a good Christmas present, too, for someone in your family, someone on your list you know who lives in pain. Get them a gift card for a session with Crystal over at Restored Motions and change your life. Mark Hammond, good morning. All right, let's see. YouTube, do me a favor, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there. James McKinnon, keep hearing about this kid. Simon is a good back. Is he even on LSU's radar? Meaning, have we offered him? I'm not even sure who that is, James. Sorry, man. But what I'll tell you about LSU's running backs is they're looking good for the future. I mean, Logan Diggs is an NFL player. Caleb Jackson is an NFL player. You got Caden Durham committed right now, who looks like an NFL back. You're going to get Harlem Berry, who's another guy who looks like an NFL back. I mean, you're going to have a running back room that looks like what an LSU running back room should look like. Scott Shirley, I don't view losing a starter to the portal as addition by subtraction. Sage Ryan never caused trouble for this team. He was willing to play out of position for the good of the team. I'm with you, Scott. I don't disagree with that. And I'm not going to tell you that losing an experienced veteran player is a good thing. I'm not going to tell you that. What I will argue is you should be able to find better production at those positions than what you got out of Sage Ryan. That's the point. And the two things are not mutually exclusive. Leon Williams, good morning. Mondays are better when the Saints win. Amen. Matt Plavidal, thoughts of women's basketball. I heard Mulkey got ejected. Yeah, they beat the heck out of somebody yesterday. Mulkey got run. She said in the post game that she told the officials, she's like, I'm not leaving your side. You better throw me out of here. So she was begging to get tossed. I love it. I love the energy. Shane Bigfella, Ernest Gray, Pizza Boy the Jedi, Matt Plavidal. Any plans for whiskey and wine for the bowl game? Yes. Thank you for asking, Matt. Yes. We are confirmed. T-Bob and I will be doing whiskey and wine New Year's Day after the bowl game. So anyone that wants to come out to Don Juan, feel free. I get it. It's New Year's Day. A lot of people have plans, family stuff. Totally cool. But we will be firing up whiskey and wine after LSU plays Wisconsin in the bowl game. So hopefully y'all can join us. Michael Clark, morning, Matt. Ditto on Matt Plavidal's. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yes, for whiskey and wine. Whiskey and wine is a go. Help us spread the word. So, I mean, it's 11 a.m. kick. So, probably 2:30 is when we'll probably be firing up whiskey and wine on New Year's Day. And then, that's about shortly after that's when the Rose Bowl starts. So, we'll be doing the show kind of as the Rose Bowl is getting underway. And that's Michigan, Bama, right? Michigan, Bama is the Rose Bowl. And Texas, Washington is the Sugar Bowl, right? I apologize for the snot, y'all. I mean, I know I'm like sniffing but my allergies right now are going crazy on me. I don't know why. Like I took my Claritin this morning, but it is clearly not working yet. Antron, good morning, brother. Happy Victory Monday. Happy holidays for my family. Yours. Tell Drew I said good morning. Will do. Trivia Carter, where you been, man? James Avery, Ernest Gray, will BK hire Raymond? My opinion is yes. I gave a very long answer to that question about 15 minutes ago and yesterday and like every day. But Ernest, the short answer is my opinion is yes. Joe Brady to the Saints if DA is fired. No. Brent Chisholm, top of the morning. Let's see, Simon is a 2025 guy expected to commit to LSU. Cool. Christopher Kagarius. Did I nail it? Kegarius. Kegerreis. Kegarius. Or Kegaris. Kegarius or Kegaris is what I would go with, one of the two. Okay, took my son Balin to his first game for the Saints. Christopher said no. I missed it on both accounts. Let's see. Great to see Jimmy do his thing. Defender didn't stand a chance. Brzee is a stud. The yin and the yang. Oh, and the yin yang twins still have it. Love the show. Awesome. Kegris. Kegris. I don't know, man. You got way too many letters in there for that just to be Kegris. Y'all got to take some letters out. For real, bro. You got to take some letters out of your name. All right. I think we might be just about done. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Quentin Brakebill, what's good? Mark Hammond. Saw Durham play this weekend, Texas 6A. I heard he did awesome, man. All right. We're done. We're done. Smash that like button if you would on YouTube. Please subscribe up to the channel if you're new. As always, brought to you by Brock, the Banners Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, Brock, they're the best. All the subspecialties, they got you covered. And, of course, Hudco Roofing. All that rain, y'all. All that rain on Friday. No, it wasn't Friday. It was Saturday. Whew. All that rain on Saturday, my goodness. It rained hard, rained all day. If you have an issue with your roof, think you might, know someone who does, let them know about Hudco. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. All right, have an awesome day. AFR 3, peace.